What's up guys, the Balkan Gamer here, and today I want to talk about something near and dear to my heart, and that's Ubisoft games. At least, they used to be. But as of late, Ubisoft made one crucial mistake, in my opinion, which I'll get to later on in this video, and that mistake might actually cost them everything. Not to be over dramatic, but there was a time when the words Ubisoft might not exist in 5 years seemed outright blasphemous. What's important for us to establish is that this video is not coming from a place of hate at all. Quite the opposite. I played and enjoyed all of the Far Cry games, including the spin-offs. I played all the Assassin's Creed franchise. I enjoyed soloing the Division games. I marveled at what art in video games can be with Valiant Hearts and Child of Light. I crawled through dark spaces, stealthing my way into... You know what, let's just not even go there. But you get my point. I'm not angry at Ubisoft, I'm just disappointed. And I'm pretty sure I'll never get that Ubisoft back. Now I know the title of this video might sound a little too ambitious or clickbaity, if you will, but bear with me. This side mission is not just ridiculous, but in fact it represents the reason why today's games, especially almost everything Ubisoft has released in the past, 5 years, are the way they are, which is at best devoid of any creative inspiration and at worst boring and cringeworthy. The preface of this video was quite important because, again, I'm not hating the game, and even if I did hate on it, I think I've quite earned my right to do so. I've put around 70 hours into Avatar Frontiers of Pandora with a platinum trophy to show for it. Not because I lost a bet or anything, but every now and then I specifically choose a game where I can put my brain on hold, forget about the daily anxiety and interact with something that doesn't require too much of my attention. That's exactly what Ubisoft games are like. Those so-called checkbox games where you wander about, collect 10 flowers from the forest and hunt 3 boars for the village. Let's first see what this mission is about, as I'm sure most of you watching this video have not played Avatar, and we'll analyze it as we go. The side mission is called A Match Made in Pandora. Oh, and before I start my rant, leave a like on the video if you want to support the channel, because a single click from you helps me tremendously. As you can see here, we have to go to Evergreen Station to look for Anka. Just as a side note, Ubisoft also tried to copy Elden Ring or Zelda Breath of the Wild with the whole map ambiguity thing. So, if you want, it won't show you exactly where to go, so you can explore, you see? And they give you hints like, a bit further south from the Resistance hideout, and if you go past the Eastern Plains, you'll get there. Luckily, you can check an option in the settings to show you exactly where to go with a waypoint. Unfortunately for Avatar, games like Elden Ring are completely designed from scratch in such a way that exploration is enticing, and not knowing what comes next is part of the beauty of those games. It's about the freedom of the player. In my opinion, open-world Ubisoft games and not knowing where to go next go together like peanut butter and razor blades. Anyway, back to our side mission. So, we go to this Evergreen base where we have to restore the power. But why do we have to do this? Let's rewind a bit. At the base, we talk to Anka to start the mission. Before that, we found some romantic poems written by her. Okay, now let's listen to this brilliantly written dialogue.
I need help. With something... sensitive. It's... Well, I like someone. A lot. I don't want to keep my feelings a secret anymore. I'm just gonna lay it all out on the table. Not gonna be chicken shit. Life's too short. Way too short.
So, after this cringy conversation, she asks you to find a more intimate spot for her date, which in theory could be something very interesting. The idea itself isn't cringe, not at all. I mean, people are on another planet, surrounded by aliens, with zero privacy, yet they still want to go on dates. And it's an interesting concept, like no matter what situation you're in, whether you're on another planet, in caves or in sewers, life goes on. Even on a different planet, people fall in love, people have to go to the bathroom, people have to shave, you get the gist. So the idea is good. but the execution, we're in for a treat. Alright, so we arrive at the station in question, the secluded spot for the date where we had to restore the power. Fair enough. We go back to the base, talk to Anka. Anka is too shy to talk to Priya, so we do it for her, like in elementary school. Okay, so now we need to put on some music for them. Let me remind you that we're talking about a video game here, and this mission takes forever. Go there, talk to that person, come back, get the music, go back again. So, a fetch quest at its finest. We get there to do some more hacking and play the music. Great. Now, here comes the mind-blowing part. So these two girls, Anka and Priya, finally get their date away from prying eyes. Pardon the pun, all thanks to you. Nothing bad so far. Now, the mission objective becomes keep watch over Evergreen Station. Okay, sure. At which point, this happens. If you haven't noticed, a small apocalypse has started 10 feet away from Anka and Priya. Explosions, bombs, gunfire, screams, end of the world right outside. Anka, I think we're about to be brutally murdered. You think we should check out what's happening outside? Nah, don't worry about it. I'm sure it's nothing. And I can get past the cringe dialogue. I'm not playing a Ubisoft game to find God of War or Last of Us levels of dialogue, but the game really treats me like I'm a complete moron. And I'm not trying to insult anybody here, but I'm kinda into mediocre games. So if Avatar managed to bring these emotions out of me, I can't imagine what they do to a player that decided to give Ubisoft another shot after being previously disappointed by them. How long can they keep milking Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, when even those titles are becoming weaker in quality? Unfortunately, it's not working anymore. And the audience, the players, we've had enough of our intelligence being insulted like this. It's not 2005 anymore. As proof, both Avatar and Star Wars Outlaws were failures for Ubisoft. Do you realize what that actually means? Two of the biggest names in entertainment, Star Wars and Avatar, can't sell big budget games anymore because they're from Ubisoft. The gameplay is good, even if it's repetitive, but every video game has repetitive gameplay to some extent. And the worlds they create, the world design is extremely high quality, one of the best from all the industry actually. But the writing, the narrative, these cringy dialogues drag everything down. Compare the writing in The Witcher 3 to Avatar. In The Witcher 3, even the most insignificant side quest has more captivating intrigue than any mission in Avatar. And the reality is, both Avatar and The Witcher 3 cost you your most valuable currency, time. And maybe comparing Avatar with The Witcher 3 isn't entirely fair, since it's one of the best games in recent years in terms of storyline. But even if you compare Avatar to almost any other AAA game from any other studio, you will most likely skip on the one made by Ubisoft. Because now, when Ubisoft is on the box, you know what to expect. And it wasn't always like this. How can you go from Assassin's Creed Origins to Avatar in terms of writing? Bayek's storyline, the protagonist from AC Origins, is one of the best written stories in my opinion. And it is vital to that game's success. How can Ubisoft not know that? As I said, I'm an exception to the rule and play all kinds of silly games like this, especially when I can buy them on massive sales. But I know exactly what to expect when I buy a game like this. I know the dialogue will be cringe, and I know the plot will hardly make any sense. I honestly feel bad for Ubisoft, because I was, and still am, a fan of their games, especially Far Cry and Assassin's Creed. Now, of course, Assassin's Creed Shadows is out, and the general consensus is the game is good, great even. I haven't played it yet, but I definitely will, and I'm quite certain I'm gonna love it. However, no matter how AC Shadows would have performed, nothing could have saved old Ubisoft. Now, with the recent Tencent investment, they'll just make Far Cry, Assassin's Creed and Tom Clancy games. For a company that innovated the industry for such a long time, it's pretty sad to see how the mighty have fallen. Until next time, may you find things to enjoy in your life every single